This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got everything outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my god! Oh. Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
It is time once again for Just Send It here on SimSpeed TV. We welcome you along to week 8 action tonight. We come from the marvellous, amazing, absolutely superb Phillip Island circuit. Drivers are out on track at the moment, having a little bit of a warm-up, getting used to the conditions. My name is Jay Kennedy. Alongside me for tonight's race is Cameron Dance. Cam, we thought we were going to have a little bit of a smaller field tonight with everything that's going on tonight. We've been amazed at the turnout, and this car is definitely one of the most enjoyable at a track that is absolutely perfect for it.
Yeah, absolutely. This car track combo is just unbelievably fun. I mean, you ask the majority of the drivers who've done this combo before, and they'll tell you it's pretty much quite far up there on their list of tracks and cars they've enjoyed driving. So yeah, going to be really exciting to see what tonight's like, and probably going to see a lot of drafting as well. So going to be plenty of close racing, that's for sure.
We'll definitely see a lot of sends into turn number 1 as they use that draft, and they are very, very close to the limiter as well, going down the front straight, down the Gardner Straight. So we will see a little bit of drafting down the front straight. Of course, conditions out on track, it is really, really hot at Phillip Island. Of course, the weather is based on sort of real time for a mid-November day, so a late spring day, so 18 degrees in the air at noon, but the track is 43 degrees because it has been sunny the whole time. It's a little bit cool at the moment, a little bit of a cool breeze from the south. Actually, it's a lot of a cool breeze at 48 k's per hour. That's probably why it's a little bit cool in the air, but that track temp is very, very hot.
Yeah, it's not exactly on the sun sort of warm, but it's not exactly too cool. So going to be a little bit of sliding going on around the track, but for the most part, it shouldn't make things too difficult for majority of these drivers, especially with the fact that you're on wings and slicks.
Yep, exactly right. And wings and slicks will mean that there'll be lots and lots of passing throughout this race. We've got around about 60 drivers out on track tonight for Just Send It. We need to thank all of our supporters and partners behind the scenes. Massive thanks to Wolfchester, the Hype Project, Vantage Freight, GB Galvanizing Simworks, and of course Jack Technologies as well. The whole crew behind the scenes at Just Send It. Thank all of those supporting partners for their help. Currently, the practice session is very, very close. At the moment, we've had 29 drivers do an actual lap time with 3 minutes left in the session. But it's rather close at the top. 1,000th of a second separates first and second.
Yes, it is very, very close at the top, but then it's about just under 2/10 back to third, and then further down the list it starts to get a wee bit of a bigger gap as you go down the list, but nevertheless we should definitely see things get very, very close when the race starts with all this drafting and everything that's going to be happening, that's for sure.
A few different names we've got out on track tonight too from what we've seen. Christian Limbom makes his return to the series after one appearance earlier on in the season. We've also got Matt Campbell back again for another drive after last week. He wasn't too happy with the feel of the car last week. He decided he'd much prefer to put it in the wall and continue on racing in his Ferrari. He's much more comfortable out in this car tonight, I'm fairly sure, in the Formula Renault 2.0. Who else have we got out there tonight? Hanson's back again. We've also got Steve Owen back again. Matt Charter's back once more. There's a few other names in here as well. Emerson Harvey back again tonight. Glenn Wood once again. And I must say, Glenn is looking pretty excited for the race tonight. He's probably going to be a little bit more competitive this week, which will be good to see how he goes. Actually, in saying that, right on cue, he's off the track.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to actually pull that car up at Lugie Heights and MG, to be honest, especially when the rear end gets as loose as it did for him there. It's not exactly too optimal to be going out that far, but nevertheless, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how Glenn goes tonight. Obviously, a bit more grip and that sort of stuff in this Formula Renault, this little 2000 cc, sorry, Formula Renault open wheeler. So, going to be really interesting to see what happens.
We're not far away from getting the grid up and running as well. The drivers don't actually know what's going on, but we have been given a little bit of info about a little bit of extra that's going on in tonight's race with a reverse top 20 tonight. And the drivers don't know about this yet, so if they are watching the stream in the background, they're going to get this information just as the session ticks over to the green flag. So that could add an extra little bit of spice for the race tonight. A reverse top 20. The other thing too is that damage is turned off, so the cars can bump each other a little bit. We might even see bump drafting with the cars not actually taking any damage in the race tonight.
Yeah, with that no damage, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, we've seen quite a few shunts in this series over the last few weeks, and having no damage on will probably for the better of the good, because you won't have, obviously, drivers being taken out and then having to go to pit lane and get a new car or completely retire because they've got no fast speed left. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, and bump drafting will more than likely come into play, that's for sure, with no damage. Although, do it right and you usually don't get any damage at all. But yeah, we'll definitely see some big sets for sure, with the fact that there's no risk of damaging your car or wings.
Yep, we definitely will. Vince Gucciardo, another driver that's back, and I say Nick Foster's looking good tonight. He's up there right at the pointy end, starting or in that session there, P3. So he has a good chance of doing something very, very strong tonight as we get ready to go through our starting grid for this race. And we'll rush through it fairly quickly. Oh, actually, we might just leave it up on screen, but Glenn Wood, there's going to start from second position with Bazuris in first, Jay Cool and Ben McClelland on the second row. Nick Foster, he'll be one to watch if he's starting fifth with that pace he's got. Dominic Ferraris from last week starting eighth. Go back through the field, Steve Owen in 10th. Who else we got? We've got Cody Bircher, winner as well in this series, in 15th. Matt Campbell in 16th. The person who should have been on pole is Cooper Webster, but he's going to start back in 20th position. That's going to be fun to watch him come through, as well as Emerson Harvey. And Brad Newman as well, we know that he's got some good pace too. So there's a lot of drivers that will make their way through the field here. It's going to be a very, very interesting race.
Yeah, for sure. There's quite a few drivers down the list that you look at and go, going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Christian Lundbaum starting way back in 59th. So, yeah, it'll really, really be interesting to see who manages to what and where they end up finishing. That's for sure, as the pace car pulls away for what will be a rolling start.
That's just thrown me a little bit because I rushed through the grid thinking that we were going to have a standing start and didn't see the pace car. But these cars, very, very cool cars, very, very fun cars as well. They're tough to drive with cold tyres. Once those tyres get some grip up, these are beasts of machines. Very, very fun to drive, and surprising that they don't get driven as much as they do in the AusNZ community.
Yeah, for sure. They're very, very fun car to drive. Obviously, not too much Euro, not too much power, but just enough to make it so you really do have to drive the car to get the most out of it. And it really is sort of one of those cars where you look at and go, it's amazing to drive and provides really, really good racing, but for some reason it just doesn't get raced often. So yeah, it's going to be really, really cool to see so many of these little Formula Renault 2.0s, in fact 59 of them, all racing around this track, which is just absolutely unbelievable to drive in this car. In fact, any car. So yeah, really, really looking forward to it.
Have a look at how far back Christian Lindbaum is. He's just still coming through Southern Loop, and the pace car is going through Honda. That is how big this field is. This is a huge grid of 59 Formula Renaults out on track around this amazing Phillip Island circuit. The drivers come through Siberia for the last time. 40-minute race. There is one pit stop and one competition caution at some point throughout the race. We've seen it come early, we've seen it come late, we've seen it come extremely late like last week, which caught a few drivers out. It's going to be interesting to see how drivers play it now that they've seen how the competition caution affects the way the field is set. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, for sure. It'll really add a lot of dynamic to this race, especially with so many cars on track and obviously that no damage. So it's going to really close that field up and make it all that much more interesting. That's for sure.
If you do want to keep up to date with live timing as well, you can on our website. If you go to simspeed.live, nice easy link for you. You can keep up to date with the live timing and catch up with every single of our 59 names out on track in this race. Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. Some big names out there again, and have a look at this. Going very early. It's caught that outside line, and look straight away. We've got bump drafting, and they haven't even got to the green flag yet. This is incredible.
Yeah, there's cars everywhere. Cars 3, 4 wide even all throughout this field. Just cars trying to make their way. It's absolutely nuts, and we're heading into turn 1, which is going to be really interesting, as this car can be flat and clean here, but sometimes not in dirty air, and this car's already trying to go 2 wide through turn 1, even 3 wide, and they're pretty much all made it through.
Wow, this is amazing how clean the start of this race has been. Only seeing one car that is off the circuit, and Christian Lindbaum has only just crossed the start line as Glenn Wood is leading this race. Trent Harrison in second, and Angelo starting from first. He's dropped back to fourth, and now has to do it all over again. So Glenwood leads this field, and here we go. We've got our first off the circuit. That's Jay Cool. He was starting up near the front of the field. Now down a long way, down 24 spots on this first lap. But for the most part, we've gone through the first half a lap clean, and Glenwood, have a look at the lead he's got. It's 1.3 seconds as Ben McClellan and Trent Harrison, two of the guys behind the scenes of this series, go nose to tail. This might be why it was a top 20 reverse grid, because these guys could battle it out at the front of the field.
Yeah, Glenn's definitely run away, although he's just made a mistake out of MG as well, just possibly lost the rear end on the exit. It looks like he has, so he's lost a little bit of that gap, and now Trent Harrison is going to try and move up the inside. They're going to be too wide out of the final corner, but Glenn's going to have that
draft.
Down the front. So, yeah, there it comes. As you can see, Glenn trying to find his way past, pulls out of the draft, and just you can see the slipstream effect just straight on past, no question about it.
That was cool to see. Glenwood threw back into the lead. Trent Harrison drops back to second. Angelo got into third, ahead of Ben McClellan, and Nick Foster as well. As have a look at how much of a run you get through turn 1. You carry all that momentum. Nick Foster went from 5th to 3rd, up the inside into Southern Loop. That never happens.
Yeah, that just goes to show the power of downforce and grip sometimes has. I mean, really do you see that happen? And as we just saw, it is very much possible. So, yeah, awesome racing to go on so far. But currently, Glenwood really coming under attack from Mazuris now. And with Nick Foster, Trent Harrison, and Big McMullen not too far behind as well as Steve Owen. It's going to get real spicy as now Mazuris try to make a move around the outside.
Just going to get a quick modem simulation replay because there's been an issue for Bailey Sweeney. And just a little clip from behind. I'm not 100% sure who that was. It may have been the 12 car there if you have Jack Hodder. So, and also saying, oh no, we're staying on the replay because Glenwood has gone around.
They all come together.
Oh no.
In fact, it was actually Glenn's own fault. He's actually tried to bump Mazuris and ended up just
through Lukey Heights. That is
himself.
not where you try and bump draft. So just seeing Jack Preston's come into the pits. So we come back live. Here comes the bump drafting again. Ben McClellan and Trent Harrison. They're in Discord talking to each other. And it's on for the lead as Nick Foster up the inside into turn 1. That is an amazing late pass. That is a great send.
Yeah, really good move by Nick Foster to get up the inside with that slipstream that he had very late as well, but he managed to get it done. But now Mazuris is going to be tucked in behind and possibly going to look to make a move at the Honda hairpin. You can see the draft. He's going to pull out to go up the inside and going to brake as late as he dares. Locks the inside front, in fact, and manages to just pull it up. So amazing. And a car off in the background. That was Cody Bircher.
Steve Owen actually has just gone straight ahead using the old entry and the alternate entry into the pits. So Steve Owen is out of the race, unfortunately. As Angelo and Foster continue this battle. This is good to watch. This is for the lead of the race, incredibly. This is awesome to see.
Yeah, really good at the moment. You can just see they're so close together. Just had a look as well. Steve Owen was actually assisted. And Nick Foster's gone around the front of the field.
Oh, McClellan's involved as well. Harrison's involved. And The big advantage of there being no damage is the guys can drive through that a little bit more aggressively than what we'd normally see. And it's on now between Job Stewart and Jack Wittes. We've already seen a little bit of bumping between drivers in this race that hasn't always gone 100% to plan. So Wittes goes side by side here and through, takes second position now in this race. So how quickly can this race change just purely based on the fact that there's no damage? It's really changing the way that the drivers are attacking this race.
Yeah, absolutely is. There's a lot more aggression and all that sort of stuff going on. It's really, really good to see. And another thing also, Jack Wittes has managed to go from P12 to now P3 and Webster up to P4 from P20. So quite a few drivers making some big moves. Emerson Harvey, 22nd and 9th. It's all going on.
Oh no, Trent Harrison's tried to rejoin the circuit after spinning and absolutely sent another car into space. I believe that was Liam Kaplis. Have a look at this. This is huge. So Trent Harrison has had a lose involved in an incident at turn 2, Southern Loop. And have a look at this on board with Liam here. Comes up, there's a slow car there. I believe that was Emerson Harvey. You can see the car spinning around and he didn't know where to go. And on his lid. And watch out if you're a spectator over there. He's almost taken the TV cameraman out there. It's how far off the circuit he's gone. So we come back to the front of the field. Angelo Mazuris is absolutely checked out. Cooper Webster and Jack Wittes side by side through the final corner, if you don't mind. That never happens around this circuit.
Webster really chucked it in there very last minute. I'm surprised Wittes even saw him there. So
I mean, the run of Andrew Collins there.
They're going 3 wide. Where did Collins come from? He's just coming out of nowhere, just taking both those spots.
He was going 11 kilometres an hour faster at the point that he overtook them there. As I've just seen on the timing screen that you can get on simspeed.live, Matt Campbell has just set the fastest lap of the race. The first driver into the 1 minute 25 bracket. It's incredibly quick around this circuit, 1 minute 25. So watch out for Matty Campbell. He's coming up through the field now, up into position number 16. So, right on cue, just as I talk him up. Commentator's Kirsten Ahafi is off the circuit and rejoins safely in the end. Job Stewart involved in an incident there, and that was Bailey Sweeney having a big spin. He's able to recover it and continue on as Cooper Webster and Andrew Collins go at it.
Yeah, Collins and Webster still going at it. Webster going to throw it up the inside at Louis Heights. He's going to get the job done. Not quite. Collins going to try come back, but Webster decides to go defensive. So Collins will slot in on behind and will have the draft into turn 1 as well. And another thing is that Bircher and Purdy aren't too far behind. So could see something here as Collins runs wide out of MG there and just onto the grass, but still going to have that draft in. This is going to be a 3-way draft train into turn 1.
Of course. And Bircher, you can hear side by side already. He was 2 tenths back at the exit of the corner. Already gone clear. I must say that livery is absolutely impressive from Cody Bircher. There's all sorts going on there as Andrew Collins has to get out of the throttle in 7th gear because he's got nowhere to go. And also in there now, Blake Purdy too.
Yeah, Purdy going to try and go around the outside at turn 2. Lap car there of Stephen Owen just getting out of the way there, but now Purdy's going to be tucked right up behind. Andrew Collins going to go up the inside, hitting it down towards the hairpin. Going to be on the outside though for the hairpin itself. So what's going to happen here? Collins tries to brake as late as he dares, and Purdy just lets him go.
Yeah, of course, with the draft, some aspects around this circuit, they've seen how quick the draft takes effect. I reckon you want to be the second car back coming down the run down the front straight. Interestingly, last lap by, Webster, Bircher, Collins and Purdy, all in this little freight train of cars, were all quicker than Mazuris out in front. They've gained 7 tenths on this lap alone as Andrew Collins almost runs off the circuit. So just seeing another couple of cars around facing the wrong way back in the field. We've got Ashley Ruskin off into the fence. Dominic Ferraris, last week's winner, just avoids that contact, and also just seeing Job Stewart off the circuit from that battle back we were watching, so he's going to rejoin us. Also, I believe Matt Campbell starting to come back through the field after his spin. But Cooper Webster's got that gap down to 3.2 seconds. That lap by 7 tenths quicker. So he's absolutely flying at the moment.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying, that's for sure. He's much quicker than Mazuris is. And also, just want to note that Collins was actually assisted off the track out of MG by Blake Purdy. Just the smallest tap, and it sent him off the road. So now he's down back, and he's actually just been turned by, I believe that was Michael Ritter.
So Ritter's actually gone off the circuit as well, so there's so much going on. I'm struggling to keep up with the timing screen because so much is moving around. It's incredible just seeing the red and the green on the timing screen with drivers moving up and down the field. Ben McClellan's got himself back up to 9th position after that spin early. Glenn Wood way back in 27th position, but he is the first driver out of everyone who has made a pit stop so far. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it on fuel, but if we get a safety car and everyone comes in together, he's going to have a much shorter stop and jump a whole heap of drivers. Just seen Jack Widders through on Michael Hammond, actually Hammond up the inside, trying to hold on to this position for Widders, and does. Good bit of driving there from Hammond.
Yeah, really good bit of battling there going on. Widders was trying to make it work around the outside, but just couldn't get it done in the end, so slot in on behind Hammond, who's currently sitting in P9 at the moment, so just inside the top 10 is the 3-car battle. You got Ben McMullen in there, and then Bailey Sweeney not too far behind. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straight.
Oh no, this is going to be bad. You can tell. You just know that it's going to be bad. Ben McClellan around the outside. Is he going to get them both? He's going to get a 2 for 1, is he? Oh, that's a good move. He's got it done. 2 for 1 around the outside at turn 1. No. He's going to finish the move in turn 2, but that's an incredible bit of driving. 2 positions around the outside at turn 1. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, absolutely amazing to do that. So I've gone 3-1 in a turn 1 and come out the other side, around the outside even. It's just unbelievable. He's going to try to go around the outside of Hammond here again at the exit of the Honda Heifer, but not quite going to get it done. We'll slot in behind for the time being.
Bailey Sweeney closing in at the back of these guys as well, so it's getting a little bit spicy. Dominic Ferraris, our winner from last week. Well, he's not having as much luck in a Renault as he was in a Ferrari. He's dropping all the way back down the field. Gap at the front. Cooper Webster is flying. He's got it down to 2 seconds. It was 4.5 when Cooper got into second position. He's closed 2 seconds within the last 3 laps. He is on an absolute mission to close that gap down at the front of the field.
Yeah, 6 tenths quicker that last time by was Webster, so unbelievable pace at the moment. So going to be a battle for the lead anytime soon. I'd say, imagine within the next 3 to 5 laps probably is Webster going to be on the back. And the other thing is Bircher's not too far behind, and nor is Purdy, so could see a 4-way battle for the lead coming up soon. Yeah,
Bircher and Webster both a lot quicker, so they will be closing. As McClelland and Hammond almost come together, and Bailey Sweeney not too far away. Emerson Harvey into the pits. He's now the first driver that has made a pit stop. Now, I must say those track conditions still extremely hot. That wind is absolutely blustering. I would not want to be standing outside at Phillip Island in these conditions here. It is 50 kilometres an hour wind. That is so strong. That is very, very tough for the drivers. Of course, southerly wind. They're driving straight into the wind. Oh, sorry, they're getting a huge tailwind. No, they're driving into the wind, aren't they? Southerly wind. They're driving into the wind down the front straight, so that will definitely be helping the draft, which is why we're seeing such a big advantage.
Yeah, for sure, and it's really, really making it interesting with that headwind, making the draft that much stronger and probably that much more important as well, because if you're in clean air like someone like Glenn Wood is, you're probably going to be at a bit of a disadvantage heading down that front straight every single lap time by. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see whether his strategy of pitting earlier was going to help or whether it's really going to be a disadvantage in the end.
Cooper Webster in, Blake Purdy in, Bailey Sweeney, Hanson's in as well. So heaps of drivers coming in. So that pit stop from Emerson Harvey definitely looks like it might be about the right time to do it. Everyone else following him in as Hammond and McClellan change positions again. Nick Foster's also on a bit of a charge, but McClellan and Hammond, who are working this draft together very, very well, which is one thing that a lot of drivers don't do properly in these sort of races. You really have to be smart in how you manage your draft. You want to just give up the position because you can fight back if you work together in a 2-car tandem and alternate the position at every opportunity that you can. You close up that gap so quick.
Yeah, for sure, and we've seen it multiple times in stuff like NASCAR and IndyCar and all that sort of stuff. And the other thing is it'll also help you save fuel. So you end up having a shorter pit stop whenever you need to do your compulsory pit stop. So it's going to benefit you in more ways than one if you do just let that car go by and sit behind in the draft.
So will Mazuris come into the pits now? No, continuing on again. Cody Bircher in second, continues on. I must say that livery of Bircher's again, 2 weeks in a row he wins the most outstanding livery award for the best/worst livery of the night. It's they've even got a photo of Marcus Stoinis on the side. It's an incredible little bit of kit that he's got going on there. That battle pack we've been watching between Foster, McClelland and Hammond is going to continue in a different spot now in the pit lane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who comes out where. Obviously, probably going to see McMillan and also Foster come out ahead because they've had that draft advantage, so they've been able to save a little bit of fuel, but it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens as Hammond is away, and in fact, both McMillan and Foster are away, and Foster's jumped both of them, so there you go. Proof in the pudding that the draft does in fact help you.
Yep, so Foster will hold on for that position ahead. McClellan has actually lost a couple of spots to Bailey Sweeney and Matt Morris, who have both pitted as well. So lead driver that has pitted is Cooper Webster. 3 drivers in front, Ryan Simpson, Cody Bircher and Angelo Mazuris, all yet to make their stops, as Mazuris is tucked in right behind car of, I'm going to say that's Mitchell McLeod, who is a long way back from where we would expect him to be. He did have some issues on the first lap, but he'll work his way through. As here we go, competition caution.
There it is. So probably perfect timing for the likes of Nick Foster and Ben McMillan. So be interested to see what happens here and who ends up being up where with this now competition caution and those who haven't pitted yet to pit.
Big hello if you are tuning in to us here and just send it for the first time here on SimSpeed TV. If you are new to the series, this is a good bit of fun we have every Tuesday night here on SimSpeed TV. Pros versus amateurs, all having a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun, and we get to relax as well while we're in commentary because it's a little bit of a more low-key event from what we're used to here on SimSpeed TV. So if you are new, make sure you do follow or like the Facebook page at Just Send It Sim Racing. Also on Instagram as well at Just Send It as well. Just Send It Sim Racing, I should say. And also us here at SimSpeed TV on Facebook, we are at SimSpeed TV. And on YouTube as well, you can find us at SimSpeed TV as well. We also are on Twitch at SimSpeed Esports, also on Twitter at SimSpeed Esports as well. So big thank you and a hello to everyone for tuning in tonight here. This competition caution will mix up the field a little bit. Of course, NASCAR rules. I actually can see a car upside down. I've just noticed a car is upside down and has been for a while. That's Troy Maguire at Honda. That's a strange spot to be upside down at the outside of Honda, and the engine is still running.
Yeah, he's been there for quite some time. He's actually been
the
there
engine
since
is
lap
not running.
4. Yeah, he's been there since about lap 4. He had a massive rollover and managed to somehow end way out there. Not exactly sure how the impact that he did manage to send him out there, but it definitely went for quite a while upside down, that's for sure.
It's a strange spot to be in. Big thanks again to all of the supporting partners behind the scenes, the Hype Project. Also GB Galvanizing, we need to thank guys from GB Galvanizing, of course, out there on track as well. Vince Ucciato out on track from GB Galvanizing, so thank you to Vince. There he is in his GB Galvanizing car. Also to the guys at Wolfchester as well for their support as well, so Trent Harrison, and also to Glenn Wood and Simworks, Vantage Freight and JSE Technologies. Big thanks to everyone, also to Modem Simulations for their continued support of us here at SimSpeed TV. If you're wondering what we do cover here on SimSpeed TV, tomorrow night we have coverage of the GTE Sprint Series Australia, thanks to Epiroc. You can catch that on our Facebook page and over on the iRating Esports Network on YouTube. Very, very cool series. Cam, I know you've been running in that one. You're actually going okay this season, but not fantastic, but okay.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down season and that thing, but yeah, not doing too bad so far. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes with not too many rounds left, and yeah, just going to be all about consistency in the end for me myself. But as it is with any sort of championship, you just got to gain the points in the end, and you eventually come away with not too bad of a result in the end.
And on Saturday night, we will have one of the biggest races in the Major Series. The Major Series is a series run in 3 different regions around the world, international and Asia, as well as European and Americas. And the race that basically is for our region, the Bathurst 500 individual driver race over 81 laps at Mount Panorama in the iRating V8 cars. It's going to be good fun, Cam. I know you're racing. It's going to be a really interesting race, and of course, perfect weekend to have it the day before the real race, the Bathurst 1000.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a really, really exciting event. Going to be quite interesting with the way the weather's possibly looking for it and what sort of field size we're going to have. It could get very, very busy with lap traffic, and the weather might catch some people up, but who knows? And it's going to be really interesting. I know there's a bit of an interesting battle going on in the championship in that series involving myself, in fact, where it's looking like yeah, where it's probably looking like if things go my way, I could possibly wrap the championship up at Bathurst and then have a bit of fun at Interlagos for the final round in the Williams F1 car. But yeah, the series has been absolutely awesome all year. I mean, you can't falter what Mike and the team have done at the Major Series. So really looking forward to seeing what next year has as well.
Yep, 100%. Back to this race. We thought that the top 3 would pit. Actually stayed out, so they're fuel saving to hope that they can make it home. I'm not 100% sure that we've enforced a compulsory pit stop, but I don't think we really care. As long as the racing's fun, it doesn't really matter. The safety car pulls in and we get ready to go green once again here at Phillip Island with 18.5 minutes, or just under 19 minutes to go. Got around about 15 laps of race to go. Huge crash at the restart. There's a car upside down. I believe that's
Emerson Harvey.
Who is it that's around there? Emerson Harvey was involved. Oh, still car spinning. Another car upside down. I must say I'm glad that there's no damage, because it's lucky in a way as Cody Bircher makes the move up the around the outside. Amazed how many moves around the outside at turn 1 we're having here at Phillip Island. But Cody Bircher takes the lead. Nick Foster has got himself up into 30, restarted in 6th, and is now in 3rd.
Done really, really good to have such a really good restart. And Bircher with that awesome move as well. Was just seeing cars shunting just out of Southern Loop, so more carnage going on. But yeah, some really, really good moves being pulled on this restart by a lot of drivers. And yeah, obviously Bircher with that awesome move around the outside to take the lead. And once again, Wings and Slicks manages to provide racing once again.
Yep, exactly right. And it's back on for the lead. And the other thing as well, Ryan Simpson, who's in 4th position, now into 3rd position. He is our postie at the moment, as Emerson Harvey is out of the race for some reason as well, as Nick Foster has just had an issue. I'm just going to try and we're going to get a replay on what's happened to Emerson Harvey, because that's not what we would expect from Emerson. He's been very, very consistent throughout this series, and I'm wondering if he's actually had a tech issue, because he's really, really slow coming into... Yeah, he's had to have some sort of failure there, because something weird was going on with his car. Oh no, there's a huge crash. We're staying on the replay here. Tyler Howard's been involved. Also see Ashley Ruskin's involved. A couple others have been involved as well. They will stay on this replay. But this race has just absolutely gone off. What I was going to say was, before that incident, is Ryan Simpson was our postie for the night with the biggest mover. He was up 42 spots, but he's now back into 23rd, so that is gone for him. It's Ben McLeod and Matt Morris side by side down into Stoner Corner and up into Honda. It's a great little battle pack. There's so many little battle packs going on. I don't know who to cover and who to look at. There's just so much going on.
It's really, really good to see all this hard racing. Someone's been spun. That is Ben McMillan, been spun by someone. Not quite sure who that was. It was the car of Jay Henson, I believe. Yes, it was.
Unfortunate for Ben, but he's had great pace. He's been up the front, been turned a couple of times and worked his way back up to the front again. So Bailey Sweeney, Michael Hammond continue their little battle. Cooper Webster back in 3rd. He's now got a bit of work to do to catch up to Cody Bircher. Bircher, who has not pitted, seeing what, about 6 cars in the entire field that did not pit. Cody Bircher's in now. So we've got Cooper Webster's probably in the prime spot to take the win in this race, but Hammond, Sweeney, Morris, Hanson, Purdy, Ritter and Collins are all still in this, as well as Ben McClellan back in 11th. He'll jump up into 10th position. So many drivers that could still win this just based on the draft alone.
Oh, for sure. There's just, you probably can't count out the whole top 10 for a matter of fact, because there's just so much going on and so much unpredictable stuff going on as well, as Mazuris is well out in front but still yet to pit. So going to be really interesting to see whether he's going to be able to save enough fuel and make it home. And if he does run out of fuel, Cooper Webster and everybody else will be there to take the advantage.
Yep, and Webster's already pulled a second on these guys battling at the moment. Now, that's what we were talking about before. When you just he's still upside down, there's Troy Maguire. He's just been left, not even under safety car. They couldn't get a tow truck for him. That's rather funny, but as Andrew Collins and Ben McClellan go side by side, so McClellan's going to get another spot here to come back through. Now back up into, no, staying in 10th. But what I was going to say is before, we said that the guys that work together when they're in a draft pack will close up the gap, but these guys are fighting way too aggressively at the moment. If Bailey Sweeney was smart, when he sees one of these guys trying to come through, let them through, follow them, you both gain speed. As around goes Bailey Sweeney. Another car around as well. Who was that went off towards the pits and is now rolling? That's Hanson, is it?
Yeah, it is Jay Hanson.
Back going again.
He's just lost it on the exit. It looks like he may have clipped the grass on the exit. Yes, he did. Just with the right side tyres, and around he went. So unfortunate there. But currently Matt Morris, Michael Hammond and Blake Purdy all going at it for the final podium spot. I'm going to try hold it round the outside at Southern Loop, but not quite going to do it. And slot him behind. Purdy's going to have a beautiful run here. And he's going to look to poke the nose up the inside.
Oh, 3 wide into Stoner. No way.
Stoner. They're going to be 3 wide into the hairpin. This is going to get interesting. Hammond outbraking all of them, in fact, but ends up locking a right front and he ends up running wide. So Matt Morris will just hold on to the position. But Hammond's
literally
looking up the inside, and Matt Morris will let him go. But he's going to try and drive back underneath them.
Oh, a bit of a bump.
Contact.
Little bit of a bump there from Matt Morris and Michael Hammond. And they're going to go side by side through Hayshed. You couldn't do in any other car but an open wheeler with big, big wings. And that's cool to see. But what they've done, they're only a second behind Cooper Webster. They're now 3.5 seconds back. Webster is flying, and these guys are just slowing themselves up. Last lap, 1.5 seconds slower than Cooper Webster with these three. And they've just lost another second in the last little bit by fighting as aggressively as they are.
Yeah, it's obviously the fighting's not really been helping them all that much, as Matt Morris has actually just run wide out of the final corner as well, and he's dropped quite a bit of time. But now Purdy and Hammond are going to be going at it side by side down into turn 1. Purdy on the inside, and Hammond's going to slot in behind for the time being, possibly going to try to look to make a move into turn 2. Around the outside he's going to go, but not quite going to get it done.
Yep, wasn't quite able to get the move done. There was Michael Hammond, but he's going to cut back. To see Brad Newman's run off the circuit, so got Hedge jumping into 11th position, but very, very slow as well. So much going on. There's another lap car, so Hammond not able to make the move up the inside into Honda hairpin. This is an awesome little battle going on. Michael Ritter's around, and he was involved in the battle with Ben McClellan. Remember I said before that McClellan's back in 10th. He's going to have to work his way back through the field again. Well, he's back into 6th. And he's only 2 seconds back from that battle pack we were watching before. He is flying. Last lap by, other than Hedge, he was the fastest driver out on track.
Yeah, he's got some massive pace at the moment, does Ben, for pretty much what's happened in this race. So doing really, really good to recover. But at the moment, Cooper Webster really hunting down Mazuris, who doesn't appear to be fuel saving either. And we've got just about 9 laps left in this race. So going to be very lineable, I reckon, on fuel with the way this race is going.
Yeah, we saw drivers come in as early as lap 2, but then they also made a run down the pit lane. So Matt Morris pitted 15 laps ago, and of course we are on lap 19 now. So Matt Morris is the first driver out on track that did pit, other than Jack Flood, but he's a lap down, unfortunately for Jack. Also just seen that Trent Harrison has decided to park it for the night. Ryan Simpson's decided he can't make it on fuel. He's come into the pits. No real surprise to see that he's come in, and Cooper Webster is now within 3 seconds of Mazuris. Last lap by 1.6 seconds quicker was Cooper Webster.
Yeah, it's a massive difference that Webster's got going for him. Oh, do we have to wonder if he actually possibly did take tyres in his pit stop? Because that's a massive gap to suddenly have over the driver ahead of you, although could possibly be that Mazuris is actually fuel saving.
Yep, I think that's more what it is. Mazuris is fuel saving to try and make it home on a 0 stop. Ruskin and Hedge also have not stopped, as well as, who was that? Christian Limbom, who we saw start from last. Matt Charters made his way up 26 spots to find himself in 32nd. So he started right next to Limbom. As I just see Michael Ritter's around again. And Ben McClellan's actually lost a spot. He's off the circuit, and that's a good way, spectacular way to try and do a pit entry, but that is not the fast way around the circuit. Also seeing Matt Campbell has stopped out on the circuit at the pit entry as well. I think he might have been turned as Matt Campbell.
No, he's actually
done it all
pretty much done. He's actually done pretty much the same thing that the car of Ben McMullen did. So that the exit of MG really catching a lot of drivers out when they drop 2 wheels off.
It was just the turn 11 there. You just you try and get a little bit too aggressive, get on the power a bit too early, which every driver does. Doesn't matter what car you drive at this circuit. You just want to get on the power as early as you can, and sometimes that will catch you out. We just see Brad Newman side by side with Michael Ritter and Jonathan Berkoff as well. So this is a good little battle pack here going on. So Jack Ritter's not far behind Cody Birch and Ben McMillan. So McMillan's back in 13th position. Our biggest mover in this race so far is Christian Lindbaum, and he is also on a no-stop strategy. Of course, started dead last in this race. If he could be the postie for the night, that'd be a very, very good result from the pro driver.
It'd be an absolute fantastic move, especially with where he started. So it'll be very interesting to see whether he can gain more positions or whether he's just going to sit where he is.
Cue the Jaws music. Cue the Jaws music.
Yeah,
Cooper Webster's in the draft.
Yeah, he's tucked right in behind. Well, he's not too far behind. Draft will probably just be kicking in at this point, but again, he's not far away from really starting to feel the full effects of the draft, so going to be really close.
I'll tell you what, my timing has had a little bit of a haywire moment there, because it just said that Cooper Webster's top speed was 292 kilometres an hour, when I know these things only do about 240 down the front straight, so that'd be pretty good if he'd done that fast. But within 3 corners, he's gone from a second back. He's now fighting for the leaders. There's contact between a lap car. There's Jack Flood, I believe. It might have been Mitchell McLeod, one of the talking boys. Get out of the way, talk. I can say that that's my team. Ferraris has another issue. The winner from last week behind in the background. Hammond and Purdy continue their fight, but we stay with this fight for the lead. Zuris and Webster going at it. Nothing between them. Still 5 laps of racing to go. This is going to be an awesome little battle to the end, because Mazuris will not want to give up this fight.
Yeah, he certainly won't. And with 5 laps to go this time by, it's really, really going to be all about trying to put on as much defence as he can as Mazuris. So going to be interesting to see what happens. As also Hammond's at a moment, and also Blake Purdy's been involved in something earlier on as well. So a little bit all going on for this final podium spot as well.
Webster's, he's been forced out into the dirt at the final corner. He was about to make the move, he's in the wall! Wow, Cooper Webster in the wall. And he's going to lose second position. He's decided to park it, he's out of the race. I think he forgot that there's no damage on in this race, because he could have just driven off.
Yeah,
bizarre from Webster.
He possibly might have forgotten that there's damage off, because that was...
He could have just kept
on carrying on.
Yeah, I would have just turned the car back around and go again, but I'm sure that he's forgotten that there's no damage on us. We get a modem simulation replay, we'll get a bit better look than that one there. We'll here we go. So you see Mazuris just opened the wheel a tiny little bit at the exit of the corner. Probably didn't realise that Webster was coming up that quick, or probably didn't expect Webster to try and go around the outside at the final corner, and that's a heavy impact into the wall. I must say it looks spectacular to see the car have no damage with a big hit like that. But wow, this race has just taken a big turn. Matt Morris now in second position, and Mazuris is 4.2 seconds up the road. Can he hold on for 4 laps? Last lap by, he was 1 second slower than Matt Morris. At that pace, he's going to be able to hold on. Has he got enough fuel?
Yeah, that's going to be the big question with 4 laps to go. It's It's going to be very, very close to see how much fuel he's going to have left, that's for sure, especially with how long this lap is, although it's very small amounts of fuel that this car burns. So I think it's just under a litre that this car burns per lap, so might be all right. But I know there's a lot of drivers asking over chat how many litres he's got because they all want to know if he's going to make it or not.
Yep, they are. Gap now 3.3 seconds. That lap by 2.5 seconds faster was Matt Morris, and it is now down to 2.8 seconds. Back in the background there, Hansen and Purdy continue their fight. Cody Bircher and Jonathan Bykoff also have a battle, and guess what? Ben McClellan and Michael Ritter go at it again. McClellan's got another spot back. Oh no, they've come together again. Ritter's off, Hedges off, and also off is Ben McClellan. And they're still continuing their little spins around. We'll go back to the front of the field because it is closing and closing quickly. Brad Newman's also just been side by side with Jack Witters, so Witters is now up into 9th position. It's under 2 seconds though. Matt Morris is flying right now.
Yeah, he's absolutely full hammer down at the moment.
Oh, Witters is
just trying
around.
to listen. Yeah, bit of contact there from Witters, and just trying to hear. Doesn't really sound like it actually is. He's actually trying to save a little bit of fuel. Is Mazuris? He's short shifting and everything, trying to save as much as he can. So this is going to go right down to the wire with 3 laps to go this time by. Matt Morris is going to be in for a win here.
Yep, and that would mean that we'll have 8 different winners from 8 races at the current rate. So no one within that top little group has won a race yet. Andrew Collins be on for another podium. How many podiums would that be in this season? I know that Lockie had been working out some stats for the series. He's going to be amazed. I hope he is watching from Bathurst tonight. Hello if you are watching, Lockie. And also shout out to our very, very good friend, Jonathan Swan, who's currently off at other commentary duties. So Matt Morris now within a second. He's getting so close, so quick. Still 2.5 laps left. It's going to be really tough for Mazuris to hold on here.
Yeah, he's going to have to put on the defensive drive. Obviously, he's got to be minus 100. There's no way he's going to make it at this rate with the way things are going. And to be able to hold off Matt Morris is just going to be the biggest defensive drive that you're ever going to see at this rate.
This could get very, very spicy very, very quickly. And you can just see how quickly Matt Morris closes in. And Andrew Collins isn't too far back either. So if something happens like the last incident we saw, there's another one coming, and then another one coming, and another one. So it's going to be all over so quick, and there's contact between them through turn 11. Mazuris just closes the door on Matt Morris, and Morris is going to have to go. Mazuris has decided, no way am I going to make it on fuel. And Matt Morris is under pressure here from Andrew Collins. He's going to go around the outside.
Yeah, Collins getting right tucked up in behind the draft, going to pull to the inside of the circuit, try and get the draft. Is he going to get the job done into turn 1? We've seen the outside still works in the turn 1. Morris going to be on the outside. He's going to hold it the best he can, but he's going to have to slot in behind. He's going to shoot to the inside, but not quite going to be close enough to get the job done. So Collins leading with 2 laps to go at the moment. And in fact, P3 of Blake Purdy, P4 of Jay Hansen, not too far behind either. So this is about to go all off on this last lap.
It is with the top 4 separated by 1 second, just over. So this is an incredible finish. Morris has a big lock-up, and Collins is feeling the pressure from behind. This is going to be a great fight all the way to the end. 1.5 laps of racing to go. Andrew Collins leads this race. He hasn't finished outside the top 8 in any race in this series so far. He has been absolutely the best performer overall in this series. But of course, championships aren't up for grabs here. It's all about a bit of fun. But if there was a championship, Andrew Collins would be in front. But right now, he doesn't care about that. He wants this win. Matt Morris also wants to win, and they've bumped wheels out of MG.
And this is it. 4-way battle for the lead is on with 1 lap to go. This is going to be 3 wide into turn 1, guaranteed. Pretty going to have the draft.
They're going to be 3 wide across the line at the end.
Here we go. Matt Morris going to be on the defence from Blake Purdy, and now they're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Not quite. Matt Morris going to be up the inside. It's same with Blake Purdy. Collins going to try hold it around the outside of Purdy. He's going to be stuck on the outside. Southern Loops. Collins going to brake as late as he dares. Just pulls it up in time. But this is it. this is going to be the run that's going to probably decide it all into the summer, into the hairpin. As Collins is going to be tucked up behind Matt Morris, Blake Purdy tucked up behind Collins, not going to go for the move, and Collins with a huge dive bomb! Up
What a
move! Right and wide. Oh, Matt Morris is around contact with Purdy. Purdy's just managed to get away with that.
And Collins has now got a little bit of a gap too. Hanson's in this now too. So Hanson in the mock McLaren livery. He's not far away. Purdy in second. Andrew Collins is going to have to hold on. These guys are going to be 3 wide across the line. You can just sense it. You can feel it. The gaps there will mean that the draft will close that up so quickly, as the official last lap will be given to the drivers in about 7 seconds time. Another big lockup for Collins. He is making mistakes. He is feeling the pressure. Can he hold on? Last lap officially. The clock has hit 0. Who will hold on? Collins, Purdy, Hanson. Who will win this race? It's down to 3. Purdy's got the momentum. Who is going to get it?
It's the line.
Oh no!
Purdy wins it. Going to win it.
Purdy wins it. Blake Purdy wins it with contact with Andrew Collins. Unintentional contact. And what a finish to the race, as they're all having big flips over the line. Hanson finishes 3rd, Hammond in 4th, Brad Newman in 5th. They're still going at it back in the field. We'll go back to some more battles. Matt Charter and Ryan Simpson going at it. These guys are up there for the biggest movers in the race. Christian Limbob did come in and make a pit stop. Only a 3-second stop. He's our biggest mover in the field. This is our only battle left. Charter and Simpson. Charter's going to have the momentum. Charter's in the perfect spot to make a move.
Yeah, he's in a really, really good spot at the moment. Is Charter to possibly make something happen? It'll be interesting to see what happens here with a little bit of a run he's going to have down the front straight, but possibly just momentum. Not quite there.
Yeah, he might not quite be close enough just ahead. There are 2 cars going side by side, but they are lapped down, and Charter won't be able to get the move done in the end. But what a race in the end. Blake Purdy, I don't think that would have been the way he wanted to win it, but he'd be happy he did pick up the win.
Yeah, it's a really, really intense finish. Only just held on and probably didn't quite expect what Collins to do, what he did, and move back across in front of him. But irregardless, great driving by Purdy to end up just playing it right and getting the win in the end.
A replay of the finish up on screen, and Purdy, yeah, just that weaving. I don't think Collins needed to weave. I think Collins might have been able to just hold on if he didn't do that weave. So, I mean, you wouldn't have expected to need it to do that, but you go watch the run down the front straight here for Purdy and Collins, and there's the contact, and bang, Purdy through to get the win. And there they come across the line. That's an unusual way to finish the race, but what a night of racing we've had once again. I absolutely love this series, and I think the no damage was a definite, I wouldn't say it's a winner, but definitely changed the race and made it a different element altogether. As the results up on screen, Blake Purdy has the victory, Andrew Collins in 2nd, and Jay Hanson in 3rd. We'll leave the names up on screen. What a race that was. That was one of the more fun races, but it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, an absolutely unbelievable finish to the race. I mean, we went from pretty much in cars nose to tail to the leader fuel saving and pitting on pretty much the last lap of the race to having a 4-way battle for the lead, and then the person who was probably not even in contention early on pretty much win it on the very last run to the line. So unbelievable racing, that's for sure. And this car track combo, like we said earlier, just puts it on.
Yep, Jack Wetters ended up in 11th position. Ben McClellan up and down the field like a yo-yo, finishes in 13th in the end. Our biggest mover does look like, just trying to read my timing screen there as it's just changed colour on me. Jonathan Burkhoff up 32, Hanson up 32, sorry, Burkhoff up 34, Nichols up 33, Morecambe up 31, Charter up 33, but our winner for biggest mover is Christian Limbaum. He takes the Posty Award. Best send was definitely that 3-wide move around the outside from, that was from Ben McClellan, was it not, earlier on in the race? I believe it was. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch the replay, and we have to work out a worse send, a biggest failed send. Would that be Purdy at the finish line? I'm not sure.
Quite possibly.
Let us know in the chat, and we'll try and work out some awards for that.
Actually, the one that probably would go for the worst send is probably when what happened to Troy Maguire. I think that probably deserves that one. That's for sure.
Troy Maguire upside down. He's still upside down now, actually, believe it or not. So we'll just pick him up on camera there. He's actually just starting to rev the engine a little bit to try and blow it up, but he is still there, parked on the side of the road. We ended up with 29 cars on the lead lap. Angelo Mazuris ends up finishing a lap down in the end. Glenn Wood also a lap down. Matt Charter and Ashley Ruskin and Reece Lowe, a couple of the last drivers on the lead lap. And then we get into our full lap down contingent here. But Cooper Webster 5 laps down, DNFing that race. Job Stewart also DNF'd. Then we've also got Trent Harrison and a few other drivers that ended up not finishing the race. Blake Owen. Then we also got Emerson Harvey back in the field. They had some issues as well. We ended up with more drivers upside down at some point throughout the race than actually facing the right direction, which I think's definitely a first for Just Send It, but that was pretty good fun.
Yeah, definitely was plenty of fun. So, yeah, no other words apart from just unbelievably awesome night of racing.
Thank you very, very much to everyone for tuning in tonight. That was another incredible race for Just Send It. Next week we will be back, same time, same channel, same place, however you are watching us, either you are on Twitch, on Facebook, or on YouTube. It's been another fantastic night of racing here on Just Send It. Big thanks again to all of our supporters and partners behind the scene: Wolfchester, Vantage Freight, GB Galvanising, Simworks, JSC Technologies, and of course the Hype Project. Cam, thanks for jumping in tonight and helping us out and filling the boots for Jonathan and Lockie. Big shoes to fill for us two, with those two absent, but I think we did okay.
I think we did. We did put on a reasonable show, but
I hope so.
But yeah, hopefully. But yeah, definitely some big shoes to fill with. Obviously, the likes of Lockie and Johnny around when they get back next week.
Yep, both of those guys will hopefully be back next week, and we hope you will be too. Thank you very, very much for tuning in to Just Send It. As we said here on SimSpeed TV, we'll be back tomorrow night for our coverage of the Sprint Series Australia on the iRacing Esports Network. On our channel here on Thursday night, we will be for some TCR action, the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge from 9:20 on Thursday night. Sorry, Friday night we've got some Aussie Touring Car action from Suzuka, and Saturday night Aussie Touring Car action from Bathurst. But until next time we see you, thank you very, very much for tuning in here on SimSpeed TV, and we will see you next time.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now. He's got traction. He's got rid of the outside of both of them. Maloney. Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up to him. Oh my God. Oh, big crash. Oh my goodness. Half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh no. That's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
God, what?